All right, welcome back to Tyranny, everybody. I am a bit sick again, which is absolutely wonderful, but I've got tea, so everything is gonna be all right. At least I can talk, and my head only hurts a little bit. So, what were we doing? So we were just getting out of here, and I wanted to. All right, I remember now. So we wanted to look around a little bit and see if there's, instead of just, going down the barrels of the main quest, we wanted to go around and check if there's interesting stuff happening around town, instead of directly going into Effigy, which is the new place. One of the ways to do that is actually to go to the Ocean Spire, to go to one of the spires, and just, you can teleport between them, so it's kind of easy. But more specifically, going to the Bastard City in Tunan's Court and see if there's anything there. So I made a big save right now, and let me just also do this, which is a quick save, and just go there and try to chat with some people and see if there's anything. If there isn't, which there's a good chance that there isn't, we're just gonna load up and not do that, pretty much. Well, let's see. Yeah, so I had strep, and then I was fine for a week, and then I got a virus, just normally, nose and throat and a bit of headache, and nothing big, but it's just annoying. Research Dago plans complete, whatever. It kind of pissed me off. I'm kind of angry that I'm sick again, but not much you could do. Received a missive for faint by meiosis. So we're going to read that in a second, but because it's just time passing. But I kind of want to try and talk to people and see if there's new stuff, so let's do that.
Remember years back when I told you justice is just the name for the biggest sword in the realm? Claiming the Dauntless is part of establishing your own might, your own authority. Even if you dislike its heft, I'd advise you to keep the blade close. It has symbolic value beyond its martial applications.
And also, it's really fucking good.
Of course, any authority you may be carving for yourself is sanctioned only with the understanding that it's for the greater glory of Kairos.
Until I take over. Alright, so he just said a bunch of stuff. And that's all he really could do. She probably has nothing to say. Yep. All these dudes probably has something to say. I'm gonna assume, but let's see. Faintbinder, you return. Absolutely nothing. You wrote that you could illuminate the darker corners of Terratus. Okay. She glances at your cater, in a private missive. Yes, there are things I won't discuss with the hearing of outside ears. Address Kaleo. Anything you can say to me, they can hear. Address your fellows. I need to speak with Fatebinder privately. No, to Kaleo. Let's tell her anything you want to say. You can tell me. I'm pretty sure it was clear on my requirements. I need to talk to her privately. I suppose not every conversation needs to be recorded. The sage shuffles away. The hulking man shrugs. As you wish. He takes up a position outside of hearing range, standing just shy of at attention. Suit yourself. She moves lightly away, footsteps soundless on the marble floor. A slight smile dimples her left cheek. I confess to no small amount of curiosity. I peek into my share of shadows, and sometimes I scrounge up a secret. What excites your interest? I love to discuss the Archons and their forces. Entirely understandable given the circumstance. How can I enlighten you? Why are the disfavored so obsessed with their breeding? She chuckles. Did I say cuckles? That's... She chuckles. Stabbing straight at the heart of it, are we? The short answer is Graven Ash and the entire tribal culture that he martyred himself to defend. The tribalism is clearly part of their strength, if not how they're bound to the Archon of War. Of course, such sentiments undermine attempts at occupying the tiers. She lowers her voice further. Were it not for fear of the court, I wonder if he'd eliminate every last tiersman to establish his version of order. She straightens, crossing her arms. If you want to speak at length about the disfavorism force, though, I'd recommend Fatebinder Nunaville or Ash himself. Or you could always ask your friend in the bronze shell. I'm assuming he's referring to Barrick. He's? Kaleo. No, he's a guy. Doesn't matter. Is there any legal legitimacy to Graven Ash's claim over the Blade Grave and Voices of Norets over the Stone Sea? That's a complicated issue. Legally, the tiers have been brought entirely into the fold as part of Kairos' dominion. Until they aren't fully subject to the Overlord's laws, which means they're open to be claimed by whoever has the strength of arms to hold them. In theory, once the area has been pacified, the Overlord could carve it up and parcel it out. In practice, Kairos tends to grant governorship to those who took the land. This is how the Overlord has made many of his most substantial gains. He offers Archons the choice to either carve out a kingdom to rule over or die. Many find that an easy choice to make. But again, that is a gross oversimplification. One could pursue the horizon for months without seeing all the land under the Overlord's sway. Ultimately, Kairos is pragmatic and establishes rule as best befits a territory. How much control do the Archons have over the territory they are granted? How long are you staying in Bastard City? There are many answers to that question, as there are Archons. Leadership, wow, okay. Leadership has always been a matter of personal style. The way you guide your recruits differs starkly from how Regulus commands his scribes or Nunaville drills his retainers. The same holds for our Archons. The Adjudicator's court bears little resemblance to Iron Hearth, for example, and less to Cacophony. The Overlord codifies this as the right of privilege. So long as an Archon remains loyal to the Overlord and uphold the legal code, Kairos grant them significant freedom to rule their dominion as they see fit. As a result, some territories seem wildly different than others. They say that were you to travel the length of Terratus, you'd find yourself in a different empire every span. Only the Overlord's law unites them. In a way, our code, our court, is the blood coursing through the Empire's veins. We are the order that makes civilization possible. I've heard tell that over time, an Archon's relationship to their territory can grow deeper than we can imagine. The line between them and their land blurs. Regulus is part to the story of Moromus of the Mire, but look at Karen and the Stone Sea. Lingering edicts aren't exactly rare, and they shape the lands even as the Archon administrators do. And even as the land shapes the Archons, taken together, it's all rather muddled. That's enough about the Archons. I want to ask you about the rest of Terratus. I've done more than a little traveling in my role as Tunon's agent. What would you like to know? What would you know? Besides those in the tiers, what armies does Kairos have? That varies depending on the needs. Wow, I didn't know this was going to be that much rating. Okay, that varies depending on the needs of the Empire at any given time. Right now, with the conquest of the tiers ongoing, the Archons of War and Secrets have been given the leave to aggressively recruit and field massive forces. Nunaville told me that the Scarlet Chorus is one of the largest gangs of miscreants to have served a single commander in recent history. Archon Ash's disfavored boast better weapons and tighter tactics than most other forces in the Overlord's dominion can field. Tunon rules the Northern Empire, and while he's at war, his lands are guarded by the Archons of Sorrow and Ruin, as well as the Archon of Frost, unless one of the sisters turned on the others. They are not on a conquest sanctioned by the Overlord, but they maintain personal armies even in times of relative peace. And beyond that, well, the Overlord has dozens of Archons, most with their own lands, armies, and magical guilds. I've not traveled the entire world myself, but I've heard of everything from phalanxes of living bronze to nearly naked archers who herd swarms of spiders into battle. Damn. I'll let you determine how much credence you give them, she grins. So she's a woman. Kaleo is a woman, I'm sorry. Okay, she grins. Doesn't really matter. I'm partial to the spiders myself. It does sound pretty cool. What do you know about how I came to the court's attention? Surely you don't miss the endless finger exercise and weapon drills from the barracks Tunon plucked you out of. Her right eyebrow rises a notch. Your recruitment was a pretty obvious choice. Fatebinders need to be enforcers first, scholars second. You were fit, gifted, and the wits hadn't been bashed out of you. The ideal budding binder. What about your past? How did you become a Fatebinder? Oh, I promise you, no story's more boring than that old yarn. I insist. You know my history, let's hear yours. You've heard it 100 times. Girl meets boy plots treason, boy is dragged in front of the Archon of Justice, girl argues for his freedom, Archon of Justice executes boy anyways, but offers girl a job. Yeah, I've heard it a million times. I mean, girl realizes she's much better off a Fatebinder than a deceased dissident. Is any of that true? The very last bit, anyway. I keep hearing the term Northern Empire and Northern Kingdom used interchangeably. It's not exactly a question, but I understand the confusion. Simply put, the Northern Kingdom was the Northern Empire before Kairos claimed it. Both names refer to the same rough geographical area from whence Archon Graven Ash hails. The difference in nomenclature is to distinguish when in history one is discussing. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Enough about Terratus. I'd like to pick your brain regarding lore history. I can't claim to be a greater expert than Fatebinder Regulus, but I'll happily offer my perspective. How long has Kairos conquest been going on anyway? Holy crap, okay. I'm gonna take a sip if you don't mind. Okay. You've been with us since the conquest of the Tears began 4 years ago, so I assume you mean the greater unification of Terratus. She glances towards the Adjudicator. Longer than any save for the Overlord and a handful of the Archons have been alive. Look to the calendar of True Reckoning if you want the official answer, but between you and me, I think that's a starting point. Add a century, maybe 2 or more. I gather that it's been a very long time. Oh crap. Alright. There's something popping up. But between you and me, I think that's the best. That's at best a starting point. At a century, maybe 2 or more, I gather that it's been a very long, very slow campaign, with the Overlord taking time to fortify and establish the Empire in each new conquered land before moving to the next. It also gives the next target time to let down its guard. The Overlord waited a full century between forcing Graven Ash to bend the knee and directing him against the Tears, long enough easily to lull the Tearsmen into a sense of false security behind their mountains. Have you ever met Fatebender Mariothus? She laughs. That old loon? Her eyes flicker to Tunon, then to Rogulus, and finally settle back on you. Sure, she's read an edict, maybe 2 in her time, left her a bit rattled, I think. She's largely retired from active service, resting on accomplishments past, while ensconced in the wealth that one can acquire as an agent of the court. Guess I half assumed she died already. She was dispensing justice back in the last conquest, so she must be over 100 by now. She slips into silence, considering. That's quite enough history for the moment. All I wanted to know. Cool. So we learned a bunch of stuff and read a lot of text. So that's Kaleo, Rogulus, Fatebender. Oh, we already clicked him and saw that there's nothing. We speak again, so let's speak genuinely. And yeah, that guy's like, oh. Okay. Do we have access to Tunon? We do. All right, let's go up to Tunon and see if there's anything interesting happening. I'm assuming no, but who knows? I mean, this was interesting, but alright. Fatebender, look as if you require my counsel. That's nothing. Alright. Alright. So basically, we didn't actually do anything. This wasn't useful, I'd say. I mean, this was interesting, but I don't think it's worth the, 3 days. I don't think it's worth the 3 days that we had to spend in order to get there. Saying that, honestly, doesn't mean much, because, I mean, there is no concept of time beyond the beginning. The concept, if I just, do this, I don't think anything will change other than time passing for me to get missives and stuff like that, but time doesn't really have meaning for me right now, as far as I know, at least. And trying to make sense out of this game probably doesn't, these type of games usually do not have concept of time.
No reason to tarry.
Can I click this? Jesus Christ. All right, so we're not going to do that. What we can do, how much is the Ocean Spire? It'll take us a day to get there. This will take us a day and 8 hours. The Mountain Spire will take us also a day, but I think it'll be, going to Effigy is from here, so I don't know where it'll be closer to get to. It doesn't really matter. Let's go to the Ocean Spire. Let's go to the Spire because I do want to go to the Spire and see what's up there. It will take us a day, which is enough time to probably get missives and stuff like that. So let's see what happens here. And good opportunity to drink. Dagger plan's complete. All right. And we did get a missive, I believe, because I see these. With each end, there is bound to be countless discoveries and lost knowledge have been buried underneath the rust and storm kicked up. Receive a message from Fatebender Mariothus. Alright, so let's read the missive first. Fatebender Rogulus as well. Okay, that's, and a missive for I got a missives from everybody, man, everybody. Okay, let's start at the bottom and work our way up. Fatebender Rogulus. Dear Fatebender KOKOStern, your actions at Sentinel Stand have once again supplied the rumor mongers of the bastard city with stories to peddle. Some seem to think that your cunning twist of legalese intended to display some great support for the people of Starwood. That, of course, only leads to speculation about which people of Starwood you intend to benefit, the unbridled upstarters or the corrupt old queens. Others foolishly believe you unraveled the Overlord's edict to prove that you could, as if a silver of cleverness could bring Kairos low. As a scholar, I prefer primary sources to gossip. So allow me to ask you plainly, why did you choose to spare the child? Okay. Scary question, I think. Right thing to do, purely political, tell him to mind his own business. Okay, so we're not going to do the last one. but I obviously will read all of them. So, dear Fabian Regulus, when faced with a choice to save a child or consign it to death, I chose to save it. That does not seem so strange a thing to me. Either decision would have fulfilled the Overlord's will. The last ruling house of Stalwart met its end in the Blade Grave. You need read nothing more into it than that. Purely political. The blood of Graven Ash, Archon of War, flows through the child's veins. It should take no scholar or history or governance to recognize the potential in protecting it. The Archon appreciates family above all else. Why would I deprive him of a grandchild born of the ruling family of Storwold if I could do so without shrieking my duty to the Overlord? I do not make a habit of discarding gifts of fortune. Probably going to use the first one because it makes sense. Yeah. You'll have to look to the rumor mongers for your answers. I keep counsel in this matters only with myself. That's not a good question. Not a good answer. Actually, the second one actually makes sense. Both of them kind of make sense to me. It's a question of, do I like children or not? Do I like babies? I'm gonna go with the first one just to see that I'm not yeah, whatever. I don't think there's much of a difference. Okay, so we did that one. Fatebinder Kaleo, questions of balance. Fatebinder. Dismissive archive, so there's no answer here required. Fatebinder, you have proven your cleverness in the face of an apparently impossible choice. Would I have been so wise in the same situation? I cannot say. I know only that I do not envy your mission. I must urge caution, however. Some who watch your actions may be more alarmed than amused. Will they be able to convince themselves that the Overlord crafted the Edict of Storm with this loophole in mind, or will they see your choice as an alternative that cannot be set to parchment? I hope you soon make an effort to join us at the court in the Bastard City. I often feel that it has been long since we last whispered. Of the darker corners of Terratus. You've experienced... Kaylee is the one that we just went and talked to about. You've experienced so many of them of late, perhaps I can provide illumination. So we just talked to him. I don't know if it mattered for game perspective or it was just about lore, but we're not going to go there right now, at least. Until there's a better reason. And Myothis, once again. Myothis is the one that we've been just going back and forth with, I think. Based on what you've told me, it seems a stretch... Right, what was the previous one? Thank you for sharing. Knowing what you know of my situation, what would you do? Right, that was the last thing that we sent. Her? Him? Her. Doesn't matter. Based on what you've told me, it seems a stretch to believe these events are mere coincidence or circumstance. Kyrus' edicts of execution was a setup for someone to claim Ascension Hall. To think that Kyrus did not know what would happen is a massive underestimation of the Overlord's long view. You have been thrust into the arena of the mighty. Your options are retreat into obscurity, suicide, or rising to the occasion. I suggest the third option, which is what we're going to do. If I were you, I would use my connection to the spires to see if they will all awaken to my presence. Every Tearsman sees the spire in the horizon. If they know you are the master of the spires, they will see you each time they look to the sunrise or sunset. Foster a reputation for power. Make others fear you. This is what I've seen Kyrus and every living Archon do for as long as I've lived, and there's reasons for this. There's the practical case that power and reputation insulates you from threats, but there's the lesser-known element that I can't prove, but I know in my heart to be true. The fear and love of others will strengthen your magic. It will give you more points to power. Like, literally, just the number will go up. This last part I've inferred from my discussions with Bladen Mark. And the few times he has spoken of his gruesome work of slaying those who might rise to threaten the Overlord, he has hinted that it's easier to kill the rogue elements before they become famed and fearsome. In my lifetime, I saw Graven Ash change from an unknown militiaman to a fearsome general, and I can assure you, he did not have the power to shield his warriors in those days when he was without title or reputation. The Archons will never, ever discuss the origin of their power, because such knowledge might be used against them, but I have known all the Archons to be obsessed with the presentation of power. Your connection to the spires will all but guarantee the Archons will want to control and destroy you. It's a question of when, not if. Start thinking and acting like an Archon. As far as I'm concerned, you are an Archon. The Archon of the spires. Ooh, nice. We are quick to place labels on powers we easily spot, and history is replete with Archons of fire and ice. It is foolish to think that there must be a word for a thing before an Archon can control it. Other way around, the Archons show us what is possible, and you must step to their dance. Myothis. So this is interesting, and this is also a question of what they allude to with the lore, with what I've seen so far. It makes a lot of sense for Archons to gain those powers that they hold by the presentation of power is actually a really nice way of saying it. By showing to the world that I have power, by amassing a lot of followers and people believing that you have power, kind of like American Gods is actually really good. If you haven't read American Gods, you should. But in American Gods, for example, it's a book that's also a TV series now that I do not watch. But in American Gods, the way that it works is that the gods are actually real and they walk the earth. But these gods exist as much as people believe in them. A god has more power if people believe in it more. And a god is basically created and exists just because people believe in them. Right? Without people believing in them, they would not exist, which is kind of an interesting connection. And it seems to me that Archons are similar in that sense. However, and this is quite a big however, it doesn't always seem like that. For example, I took over the Spire, but not everybody, the rumors and the fact that I own the Spire takes time to go everywhere and the rumors to spread and people actually know and believe it. But I got the power as soon as I was on the Spire. Another example is, what's her name? The Archon of Feelings. I can't remember her name, god damn it. She's over here somewhere. The name of the character, I cannot remember, but we'll see that in a second. But she is, she just had the power from birth, right? She told us her story of just having that power. And she's an Archon. I'm not sure if, like, she always had that power. So I'm not really sure that it's there, you know? So I don't know. It's a little bit of both, maybe. Ask about Kairos' wrath. So, thank you for weighing in on all of this. To ask perhaps too obvious a question, if I am such an anomaly, such a threat, why hasn't the Overlord dealt with me right away? An edict or just a simple request to Blood and Mark would be no small threat. Neither seems to have happened just yet. What is your take on this? Why hasn't Kairos dealt with me? Don't send it. Inquire about Blood and Mark's killings. Your wisdom on the matter is greatly appreciated. You made mention of Blood and Mark and his killings. During my training, Fatebrighter Kaleo hinted that much of Blood and Mark's work involved killing off threats before they blossom into genuine problems. So it's curious to hear you second that fact. So let's say for the sake of argument, I am some Archon. It's just a matter of time until Blood and Mark is sent to kill me. Should I be making grand displays of loyalty to the court to assuage his suspicions? Both of them are kind of the same. Like, both of these are pretty similar. Ask about the Archons and how they've risen to power. I appreciate the insight and am honored by your vote of confidence. Your missive made mention of Graven Ash and how you've known of him since before he wore the title Archon of War. Can you tell me more of what you observed of his rise to power? If I am indeed an Archon, it's safe to say I wasn't born knowing what I can or can't do, and it stands to reason I might learn something from the stories of other Archons. Okay, so I think the first one is most interesting. The first two ones are kind of very similar. Though actually Blood and Mark, I want to hear more of Blood and Mark. I want to hear more lore about that. But I'm going to go with the first one because I want to try and understand what's up. I have my suspicions for what everything means and what's the end of the game is going to be, but I don't know. So let's find out. Send it. Boom. All right. We've done all of these. The Spire. So the Spire stuff. This one has tons of new items since last visit. This is a mysterious device, and yeah, I know we also leveled up a bunch. I can't even remember. Okay, let's talk to the sage. What's the status of research? Great progress. Now I'm going to show you my findings. Scrolls and plans of Heart's Blood. Combing through old scrolls, records of blah, blah, blah. Okay, whatever. Heart's Blood can be created. Access of the Spire, whatever. I want to research something. So, research requirements: 2 scrolls, time short, recruits need a library, or artifacts. Artifacts would be way cooler, so do that. Let's do artifacts. Yay! Busy researching artifacts. Blah, blah, blah. You're busy. Okay, they're all busy, so they can't continue doing stuff. I'll notify you as soon as you have results. Okay, Siren is her name, by the way. Jesus. May I offer you the benefits of my wisdom? Let's talk magic. Control stone. Okay, so he can't give me lore up to infinity, but I think I'm already done with lore up to infinity, right? Like both of them have, yeah, their lore is like 80, and you can't get higher. But I want to go higher. Okay, both of them have a bunch of ranks that they can be trained, which is nice, but you know. Sage Nura. Yes, this will do nicely. A sage pursues the library stacks, rubbing her palms together with expectation. Jump out and frighten her. Clear your throat. Her eyes shoot open with panic and she utters a quick incantation. Your vision blurs and suddenly there appears to be several copies of the sage standing about, looking at you with an anxious expression. Some stand ready to fire off an additional spell while others fibble awkwardly with their garments. What are you doing? They all yell at once. Fatebinder KOKOStern at your service. Oh, I'm afraid I only know you by description and they didn't exactly get it right. A moment's patience. The assembled sages regard one of the identical speakers with expression of doubt and worry. The sage waves her hand and dispels the copies, which spread apart like mist until a breeze carries them away. That's better. You'll have to forgive me. It's an old defense mechanism against the lechers who run the Vellum Citadel. That's really cute. I'm available if you need some practice. So yeah, Gravelight and Illusion all the way to 150. So this is an expert sage, which is cool, but I don't really use either of those that much. But okay. So what else we got? We got Velos over here, Kills in Shadow, and Kills in Shadow, there's nothing to talk to. I'm not going to read that. What have you made for me? I don't have anything. Okay, I'm not going to read that. It looks like a lot, and it probably read it before. Whatever. Show me what you have for sale. Ooh, an elegant staff. More DPS, because that's what I do with staffs. I shoot. Yeah. No. Yeah, I think I sold everything at the disfavored camp, so I don't really need to sell anything in addition. Precise action. All of these cost a bunch, man. But they allow us... The lore is ridiculous. You need 75 lore. Holy crap, dude. Precise. Piercing force. Reaching staggering force. Sigil of strength. It's a greater sigil of strength. Requires 50... Yeah, rip. All of them are accents, basically. I'm not gonna buy any of it right now, cause whatever. I'm not in the mood to deal with that. Can we do anything with spell creation? Yeah. So where are we right now? We're here. No, we're in the library. Jesus Christ. Okay, we're in the library, and we're at 5 out of 6, and there's no new ones, right? Master, use of magic staff. Subterfusion, use of magic staff. Control fire and control emotions. Master trainer. The other ones are everyone that we have, basically. Yeah. Okay. So let's jump ahead to the other ones and see what's up in the other ones. So we are in the Ocean Spire. That's the Ocean Spire. And we can jump to the Sunset Spire, which costs us 15 minutes of just teleporting. That's it. All right. I don't know if there's much to do, but I could try out, you know. Master of Smiths. Have you completely forged an item for me? Your recruits have been hard work. Let me show you what they've done. Yay, ingots. Sure, whatever the hell that means. Forge something for me, certainly. Okay, all kinds of stuff. One-handed axe. Forge bound, assembled death burner. Not enough materials. What? How much do you need for this damn thing? On weapon, it's an artifact. It's an artifact. It's super good. We need 1 obsidian fragment. I have no idea what that is or where to get that. That's insane though. On weapon crit target -5 vitality. Holy crap. And Scythe of Years. Damage all enemies in a cone, ignoring their armor. All helpful effects on the target are removed. Damage skills tips. Damn. This one looks ridiculously good. I'm not going to read this, but holy crap, it looks amazing. Commander's Plate. It's heavy armor, so there's not much I can do with it. Modifies, apply the lash, Will of Command, Call to Battle, Resurgence, Undying. Modifies, okay. Instantly swap position with a companion. Both of you and your allies see bonus of vitality and finesse and blah, blah, blah. Alchemist's Gloves. Orb of Life. Healing energy. Yeah, this one's could place 20 to control life. This sounds great. I can't make it because I need 10 pellets, 10 hides, and I only have 8. Damn. Elegance. Control emotions and accuracy. Why do you need control emotions? Jesus. Crushing Thunder. It's a 2-hander. And, yeah, it doesn't help. Heart's Blood. Superior. 40% damage when below 35%. Oh, it's not that good. That's actually not that good. Because I don't get to below 35 health. Nightwalker's Boots. Perception, Trap Protection, and Shadow Stride. It's cute, but it's not that great. Meh. Sentinel. Superior, but it's two-handed. I'm looking for one-handed for Verse, for example. Locked Iron Gauntlets. I think I've got really good stuff right now. For every 1% missing health. So, Praying is really good, regardless of where it is. But my honest question is it 1% missing health from the user or from the enemy? And I don't know. I honestly don't know. It could be either. So yeah, I could go over all of these, but I'm not going to. But like, whatever. So that's Vol's Master of Death, that's Master of Brazing. What have you made for me? I don't have anything at the moment because you suck. Master of Smelting. What have you made for me? I don't have anything at the moment. You guys suck. Okay, showing you out for sale. You just have stuff for sale. I don't need them. Nikostas, what's up with you? I'd like to train. Fire, Frost, Vigor, yeah, all the normal stuff. Lightning. My lightning is really not that much, man. I actually have Frost more than Lightning because I've been doing so much Frost. Damn. I could train these. I just don't think that I don't think I'll find a lore trainer, a master lore trainer, because that would be like the best thing ever, you know? Because it's the best thing ever. Vigor, Stone, and Atrophy, and he can teach us those quite well. Yeah. No. Meyer. Okay. Fire and Atrophy. Yeah, we've got a bunch of master trainers, but I don't think we can get any additional trainers. We're here right now. Yeah, light armors, specialize in metal armors. Both of them are not very useful for us. We're 6 out of 6 here. I think we're okay. We could go we could trade a bunch with not this, the fire and ice, just the elemental ones. They deal a bunch of damage. It's really all you need. So I could go a little bit of lightning, boom, just to get that level 48. Get the tick, the tick. Fire barely using, but frost is cool. Boom. You can get lightning done and get this one done. Bam. And you almost level up actually. They're kind of low. They're lagging behind. But yeah, frost is actually better than lightning at this point. Amazing. Boom, just a level up. I just wanted to level up. Yeah.
Negative, Fatebinder.
Okay, so we leveled up. So let's level up. Click. Where were we? Spell strength and magic defense. This is really good, but this is also really good. So let's do another point in quickness. Yeah. Make sure that we cast stuff fast. And a lot. Oh yeah, we were kind of like done with magic. Feel like we're done with magic and leadership. Now I can do these though, right? Yeah, now I can do the lower one on leadership. So, inspire companion getting bonus point fits entirely bonus increase based on their loyalty. That's just a nice buff. 1 minute cooldown. I could just give them this buff before going in to battle, and it's a very nice buff. I mean, Fatality, Wits, and Might. That's sweet. Passive 1 per encounter, victory, and defeat. Once per combat, let's read that. Once per combat, when your health becomes critical and you realize if their damage and quickness increase for a short time. That's not going to happen. This is the case. Apply the Lash. So, exhort a companion to improve in the battlefield, grant them bonus finesse, quickness, and resolve based on their fear. So both of these are like the opposites, supposedly. Vitality, Wits, and Might, and these are the other ones, resolve, quickness, and finesse. They're both nice. They're both just bonuses, and I think both Barrack and Reputation, sorry, what am I clicking? Verse, both of them are like scared of me and love me at the same time in a good manner. So we're actually it's pretty good. So I can use either of those as nice buffs. Yeah, they're all pretty nice. They're not amazing, but they're all pretty nice. Plant your banner, undying. Brr. Okay, so we're leveled up. We did that. And we can now go to the mountain spire. Bloop. Teleport. And see what's up in here, and also probably sleep. Or we can click this because we did we do this, by the way? I can't remember. And we'll also go to sleep so that we'll wake up. Going to sleep so you wake up. It's important stuff, kids. It's important stuff. So here basically took like no one. Tanara, one-handed weapons, dual wield, parry, and dodge. So this is great. Merchant with Motley Crew items for sale. This will also create camping supplies periodically useless. Unarmed parry, dodge, and subterfuge. One-handed parry and athletics. One-handed and two-handed dodge and athletics. We already have those. Battlefield suit with many unique items for sale. Meh. Kendrick, smith who regularly produces weapons. All beasts who regularly produce food. Fade runner with the ability to change what skills you're proficient in. Okay, I want to just do that. Just to see who that is. I have enough money that I don't mind like just throwing out money right now. And many unique items to sale. Sure. Let's do those, you know, just because we can. Let's talk to Tanara and train these guys. What do they really need? Oh, dual wield. She is beyond help in dual wield, which is pretty cool. Now it's just parry and dodge. I wish we could do more dual wield. Is there a master trainer? Wait, is there a master trainer for dual wielding? There is no master. None of these were master, right? None of these were master trainers. No. Master trainer for no. These are just all no. Nope. Probably one of the other spires might have it. What do you guys need though? Like, you have parry and dodge super high. Yeah, you could use a little bit. This is almost done. So parry is almost done for him. She has parry and dodge. Both of them are pretty high, but she could use more parry. Melee attacks. Yeah, she could definitely use more parry. So let's go with parry. So for you, we're just going to do parry. And for you, you could use more parry or dodge. Which one was it? I don't know. I think. Boom! We're at 75. So that's cool. So yeah. Those are the things that we're going for. She's full on dual wield, so I'm happy with that. I'm pretty happy with that. Oh, we could also upgrade stuff, right? We could also upgrade like all of his things to be more defenses, but to be more defenses. This one I would actually like to go from exquisite to masterwork. And that's in the other one, and I fucked up. I need to go back there now and do that, right? Yes, I do. So we're gonna do that in a second. Before that, we're going to click here and see if there's anything cool happening. Even further, and you can almost hear the whispers of 1,000 voices echoing through the resonator. If you concentrate, it would appear you could show glimpses of the previous spire. Okay, whatever. So that's nothing interesting. Let's go to sleep, though. Just so that we'll get the bonus on Barrick, because he doesn't have the bonus for some reason. Yeah, sure. Wake up! Yay, it's dark now. That red dot is really red pixel there. Which one? It was the Sunset Spire that I did the Forge. Yeah, it says so. It says so at the bottom, which is really good. The fact that it says so at the bottom, that's the Forge, is really nice. Because if it wouldn't, then I wouldn't be sure. Good on them that they say that. But yeah, I can go on these and actually upgrade stuff, right? So let's do that for... This is the maximum, can't be upgraded anymore. But this one can just be made better. And it'll take 3 hours, and it'll take 7 of these and a lot of money. But that's what I'm using right now. So why not make it slightly better? Look at the DPS increase. That's insane. We're just doing it. Instead of like waiting to get something else. No, both of these are now masterwork. They're the best they could be. And that's super cool. Harm's Way. Nah, I don't really need him to deal damage. I never need him to deal damage. I could upgrade his armors, but whatever. Also, these can be upgraded, but like, whatever, dude. The upgrade is not good enough for me to care about that. Okay, I think that's pretty much it. We could go back to the Bastard City and talk to the people like we did, but it's really not, I don't think it matters much. Trial of the Archons, we're still gathering more and more evidence. Seats of Power, we need to get the 2 other ones, and the only way to get to the other places is extinguish the flames. It's travel to Effigy. We had a choice, we picked this instead of the other one, the Burning City, because it might have more lore-related things. Makes sense for me, but I don't know. Leads a group of disfavored, oathbound in the Burning Library. Let's head there now. And it's from here. It'll be faster for some reason. Boom. Yeah, we got 20 more minutes. We'll manage to see what's up. And my head won't explode. Just hurts a little bit. Should probably take some painkillers. Missive of Regulus. Well, both of them, actually. Okay, let's read those first. So what we sent, save a child consigning it to death, it shows to save it. Yeah. Dear Fabian KOKOStern, you display curious empathy for those who name you enemy. I sincerely hope that history remembers it as one of your critical strengths rather than the most dire weakness. Remember always that the Overlord favors efficacy over empathy. Rare is the Fatebinder who delivers both. Fatebinder Regulus. Okay, sorry. Myothis. So we asked him about Karis's wrath. Allow me to address you by such a title before it becomes fashionable to do so. I pride myself, Archon KOKOStern, as a woman who stays ahead of the trends. Snapperoonie, Myothis. Okay, why Karis smites some but allows others to exist is a question we all ponder. The Overlord can certainly appear arbitrary, but if I've learned anything, that's the point. Karis is intentionally aloof and distant, both for matters of personal security and because if you had to wrangle the most powerful entities of Terratus, you'd need to keep them from getting too comfortable. To me, the most obvious answer is that Karis knows exactly what you are doing. She probably approves of your actions and is likely working at every opportunity to create a situation wherein you're acting in your own self-interest while satisfying her ambitions as well. You have to consider one important detail. There's nowhere left in Terratus to conquer now that the tiers are in the Overlord's grasp. What would the great generals even do in a time of peace? The voices of the right is barely tolerable when you have need of a spy master. Why keep around such a monster when you no longer have need of such a gruesome weapon? I would argue it is in Karis's interest that the tiers be a costly invasion that claims the lives of as many of the Archons as possible. Damn. Not enough meat on the tiers to keep too many sharks sated very long. Karis orders everyone to take Ascension Hall or die. The or die must have been an acceptable option, correct? If I have to hazard a guess, I'd say you have the unspoken backing of the Overlord. It's not like Blood can't find you wherever he wants, whenever he wants. Okay, so now we can inquire again about Blood specifically. Let's do that. Yeah. I mean, this is the same, one of the questions we could. So let's do that and see what's up. Okay, so we're gonna make a big save. One of the many big saves. One thing that I always wonder, especially in these kind of games, is how big is that save? Like, how much does it take? Kilobytes or megabytes from my computer? Because I have many of these, and that's just most of them can be deleted at this point. All right. Oh, this seems like a very small place. Okay, opening one of the sacks releases a horrific stench into the air. Peering into it, you can see the remains of rotten fruits and grains. Oh.
Do you have eyes on this?
Quiet down!
We do. Whoa! Fate Finder! And damn! Whoa! Okay, that's a masterwork thing. Plus 10 accuracy, deliver a final justice in the great court of mortality. This bow seizes the fate of anyone it targets. Damn! Holy crap, that's a good ass fine crap. Holy shit. Okay. Okay, so this one is a short bow. Fate Finder is a short bow. It has more DPS than the longbow though, which is kind of interesting. Accuracy obviously has more because it has plus 10. Or is it even without the plus 10? It's even without the plus 10. It actually has plus... Wait, I'm not sure. Is the accurate in addition to the accuracy plus 10 that it has? I believe it is. In which case, if we use this, our accuracy, which is the stat, will go up to 100 and... Yeah, okay.
Shiny.
That's right. So,
I like it.
So this... Yeah, I know. It's shiny, isn't it? So this actually has 20 accuracy, which is a buttload. Let me say just a buttload. Doesn't have armor penetration. It is. Their grave bow, however, is an artifact. And also, look at this. If it crits, it murders the living crap out of everything. So I'm going to just keep this. I'm going to keep it here. It's pretty cool. But yeah, we're going to go back to murdering stuff with these, if you don't mind. If you do not mind.
quiet down.
Right down. I'm gonna go here first. And damn, petrified grandstand. We're getting like high quality stuff. But we're gonna go to him. There's people over there. Yeah. Okay. Let's just go forward. And what do we have? Oh, the Edict of Fire. +5 to all magic skills. Whoa! And +5 control fire and empowered Bane. That's fine. Control fire specifically not my greatest feat, but +15 all magic skills. Damn. I'm gonna blow shit up. I'm going to blow shit up. Renta. Kalia. Hello. Oh, look at that. Beast Woman. Look at that walk cycle. Look at that. No, walk again. That was pretty. That was pretty proud. Okay. Oh yeah, look at that. Damn. I like that. It's cool. Okay, Akalia, what's up? She is with the Sages Guild, and we have Lantry with us, so everything's cool. You notice a young woman standing apart from the rest of the sages. She fidgets and twitches, hopping back and forth from foot to foot, murmuring to herself even though she seems energetic. Her eyes are tired and roomy, with dark circles underneath them. She leans against the wall, bouncing up and down on the balls of her feet, looking up mid-twitch. She catches your eye and calls out to you. Holy crap, people are talking a lot. You there, yes, you. Can you help me out? I have so much that needs to... Oh, wait, I thought you were someone else, and this is incredibly embarrassing, so never mind, because you're not who I thought you were, and so you can't help me, and it would be a waste for me to ask you everything only to find out you can't help me, because I know you can't help me because you're not the person I was looking for, so thanks for listening, but I need to keep doing my research now, so I'll go over there. Yeah, there was no dot. There was no dots. That was one sentence. One sentence. She bounces into... I read that correctly. I could have done a better job. She bounces and twitches a few feet away and leans against the wall, muttering to herself. I like her. She cray.
Slow and
Cray. Okay.
steady.
Hello there, oh wait, it's you again. For a second thought I thought you were someone else again, and it would be funny if I asked you. But ask me, I like subquests. Side quests, subquests, same thing. Not really the same thing, but good enough. Sage and Beastman. Apparently Beastman and Sages are friends. So, Nobleman sound light bronze. Is it heavy armor? Yeah, it's heavy armor. Merrick. The door won't move an inch. It must be barricaded from the other side. And I can't
Negative,
go there.
Fatebinder.
Talk to the sage. Well, mate, what's going on here? We captured a disfavored soldier skulking around the area. Renta is deciding what to do with him. Who's Renta? She's our leader. If you want to see the prisoner, you have to get her leave to do so. Can I talk to the prisoner? Absolutely not. Renetta has said no one was allowed to see him if not accompanying them. I will speak to you later. The sages must die for Graven Ash! You always have the option. I like the fact you always have the option to fuck this shit, guard! Just murder everybody. It's nice. I enjoy the possibility.
Negative, Fatebinder.
Okay, I think there's nothing else to do here. Yeah, that's pretty much everything. So let's talk to Renetta. As you approach, you see a stern-faced woman having a heated discussion with a frightened young man. She holds a piece of paper in her hand and punctuates every few words with a pointed tap on the sheet. The young man turns bright red and takes 2 shuffling steps backwards, his eyes casting about for help from the group, but no one gathered will meet his gaze. Finally, the woman throws the paper at him and says dismissively, "We are done here." No, bye-bye. Okay. The young man makes a couple of frantic grabs at the paper before finally securing it, then turns and runs away, tripping as he goes. The woman squeezes her eyes closed, sighs, and puts the palm of her hand against her forehead. That is called a face palm. You could have said, the woman face palms, and I would be okay with that. Working it around in small circles, she takes another deep breath and then turns to face you. She gives you a half bow. Her face is stoic and her voice flat. Fatebinder, the last thing I expected here was a representative of the disfavored. My name is Renetta. We are not properly prepared to receive you, as we have recently taken a prisoner and he has proven to be quite the handful. She puts a hand to her head again, as if to emphasize her consternation. Consternation. Blah. I have the feeling you're probably here to speak of such matters. Wrath with the sage. What did I do? What the hell did I do? I didn't do nothing. I just came up and talked to her. Not cool. Pauses for a moment. Although I have a matter I would like to address. When the Vellum Citadel was under siege, why did you feel it necessary to muzzle my fellow sages? Oh yeah, from the decisions that I made. That's why they're angry in the conquest. If they escaped, what was so wrong with that? Kairos had issue with the knowledge we had stored. Why punish its caretakers, especially since they were already in fear of their lives? Since the conquest decision during the Vellum Citadel campaign, Syrian used her power to enthrall sages who crept beyond their stronghold. When the mages started to spout out forbidden knowledge to the forces of Kairos, you had them silenced with iron muzzles. Never mind. Don't. I'm not sure I want to hear the answer. I have enough problems on my hands right now. Okay, so we gain a little wrath. No biggie. They kind of love me anyways. We gain enough favor doing the errand for in the breach in the old wall, so I think it's fine. Looks to where the young sage disappeared behind a building. We are, she paused and looks up thoughtfully. How do I say this diplomatically? We are rather short-staffed at the moment, and certain aspects of my day-to-day life are more difficult than I would hope. You have gained favor. Doing absolutely nothing. She considers you, her lips pursed. You can see she is choosing her next words carefully. Because you gave us warning, this is another conquest, isn't it? Yeah. So they hate me a little, but they also love me a little, so everything's cool. During the cause of the tears, when it seemed that none of Kairos' forces would find common ground to resolve the siege of Vellum Citadel, you proclaimed the edict of fire, reducing the library to a smoldering ruin. You gave the sages fair warning of the devastation to come. I did, I remember that, giving many of the opportunity to flee with their lives. You were able to get a lot of important books and people out of there before her home was destroyed. For that, I thank you. She sniffs, her eyes brightly looking down. When she looks up again, she is composed, all sense of sentiment gone from her demeanor. So, holy crap, that's a lot, though. That is 90% to tier 5. So they love me now. What business do you have with the sages? I've come in search of someone named Merrick. Attack! Enough of this! Your life is forfeit! Ah! Okay. I have learned that he may be here. Smiles and points towards a house with a sage and beastman standing in front of it. He's here, all right. He's our captive, and he isn't going anywhere. I would like to talk to your prisoner. Folds her arms and looks at you incredulously. Well, considering he was probably sent to finish the job the edict started, which would mean you're probably here to check up on him, why ever would I let you do that? I just want to see him briefly. He might be more inclined to talk to me. Absolutely not. The last thing I need is two colluding against me. Now I'm incredibly busy and have work to do, so leave me be. We're not criminals, Sage. Whatever else you might think, we are the ones in the right here, and you are simply an obstruction to be moved aside, by force if need be. She scrutinizes Barracks with a mixed expression. Easy for you to say when you stand as tall as the library stacks. Come down to my level if you want to pick a fight, you great iron spire. Ash has commanded me to speak with Merrick. You are standing in the way of Kairos' forces, and I have a scattered group to collect and lead. Everyone has hardships, and I really don't care to hear about yours. Kairos has done enough damage. I will not allow it to continue while I am here. You can bluster all you want. You will not be speaking to the prisoner. I want to ask you again, Renetta. Let me talk to Merrick or pay the price. It appears you wish to end this in blood. So be it. You will find the sages aren't so easily silenced. Guards, we are under attack. Really? Is that... Honestly? Is that the only way to do this? I am disappointed. I'm not a huge fan of this right now. I wonder if there's another way. I assume there isn't. At this time, but, yeah, what else can I do? I don't want to fight them. I mean, I'll murder their asses very easily if I'm forced to, but I don't want to. He runs away. Okay, I would like to talk to your prisoner. I just want to talk to him. He might be more inclined to talk to me. I'm just not giving another option. Like, what am I to do? I wonder if there's any point in the conversation where I can just say bye, when I can just exit the conversation. Is there? I don't like the fact that they just like there's no other option. He got stuck in another animation because it was too fast. Leave. I'll talk to you later. Okay, I'm just gonna save now, so we don't have to see the animation again at least. Is there any way to get there? Can I talk to the prisoner? No. There's nowhere else to go there, right? Like, there's not much I can do. There is not much I can do, though. If I just have to fight them, that's kind of unfortunate. I wanted to do Akalia's quest. Akalia, I love you. Sorry, it was a pause. No, is it the Beast Woman? Well, this sucks. Anyway, it's like 55 minutes, so I guess we'll just do this next time. Is there another way out of this? If you know, I don't mind you telling me right now. I don't think I'll look it up. I'm not gonna look it up, but it would be cool to know if there's another way of doing this instead of just fighting them. Otherwise, next time we'll murder them, because apparently that's what we're supposed to do, and there's no other option. Come on, which really sounds unfortunate. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. As usual, I'm gonna finish up my tea and then make more tea because I need it. And yeah, see you guys next week. Cheers.